everyone. I don't know, just want to talk about something that happened tonight. Most of you know I'm a rideshare driver. I do the late shift. I do that on purpose. I feel it gives me a great opportunity to reach people and, kind of give them my testimony and talk about Jesus. Anyway, I'll get to the point. So, how many of you, and whether you believe in God or not, please answer, have ever had an encounter where you knew without a doubt it was a testing from God, and also it was a demonic testing? And I'm not talking about your normal temptation of, hey, you want to party, or, fleshly desires. I'm talking about someone who is filled with evil, and you know that they are there to test you. And so I'll elaborate. I picked up a gentleman, it's around probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had been out drinking, and when I picked him up, he immediately got in the car and said, "What do you believe in?" So I laughed, because I kind of knew. You just know, right? And we proceeded to have the conversation about God and Jesus Christ, and essentially he tried to do what was originally done in the garden, right? Which was essentially convince me that being a slave to God and serving God and hell was unfair, and that I myself am a God. And this continued for the whole ride. And, at no time I didn't have any fear or doubt. And, I stood firm in my faith, but how I did that was through Scripture, right? And I just wonder how many people encounter that. How many other people have encountered something similar. And obviously, if you believe, it's kind of different. But I know people that don't believe encounter things similar. So I'm just curious, who else has maybe faced something like this, and how it went. The person was not unintelligent. They knew the Bible just as well as I did. And they knew Scripture just as good as I did. But what they tried to do was take it and turn it just enough to plant a seed of doubt. Essentially in the garden, it was about making them think that God was withholding something from them, or not being fair to them, and leaving something out. So, just curious if anybody else has faced this. If you would, please, comment, share with me. I find it interesting. This is not the first time I've been through this. Early in my walk, it happened several times, and I didn't handle it very well. But as you mature, you learn, right? But I felt the presence of evil, and anyway, just thought it was interesting. Looking to see if anybody else might have experienced anything similar. And again, not your normal, test of the flesh. This was a true, I think, encounter of a demonic sort. And I also would like everybody, please just pray for that gentleman, that he has this change of heart. But anyway, let me know. Thank you for listening. God bless y'all. Have a great day.